December is a weird time. We're thinking about January while reflecting on the year by being surrounded by Christmas trees. For me, I love Christmas. It's probably my favourite holiday of the year. I love feeling really festive. Though I prefer spring, I kind of get all cosy and wintry. But for me in marketing, it also means that the year is winding down. We're not having as much published, which means we don't have to track our analytics or our ad campaigns as much. However, it does mean in publicity, we're reflecting on the year and we're pitching for Christmas roundups. And then again, we're looking ahead to January 2023. So it's kind of that weird space where some things are dying down and some things are picking up. And it kind of got me thinking, is this the same everywhere? What departments are busier than others this time of the year? I know sales, for example, have a real peak when it's the book fairs like Frankfurt. So I wanted to know how everyone else felt this Christmas period.
So what department do you reckon?
So we're in the UK trade sales children's division. Quite a lot of a mouthful there.
Yeah. And who are your main customers?
So I look after like the supermarkets, Smiths, Harrods and Soldiers and the NLT, and then you're more on the high street.
Yeah, so I look after the more tradier accounts, so Waterstones, I do look after Island and also our main wholesaler Gardeners.
So how are you feeling about Christmas? Lots of coffee.
Yeah, it's definitely crunch time now, so.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like our last opportunity to like make sales, make money kind of before the end of the year, so it's a bit like...
When did you start like thinking about Christmas and planning for Christmas?
February?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, so because we promote quite early, so depending on the customers, so Kate's are more quarterly, most of my customers do it on a half yearly basis, so I presented for Christmas in...
It was February.
Yeah. So I was looking at Christmas titles then, but not with a particularly Christmas focus because I was presenting from July onwards, so it was just a general like, here are all our books. So yeah, I guess yours is a bit closer.
Yeah, July, August is probably when they start seeing kind of Christmas. But yeah, and then it's kind of all the way up, just pushing like gifting and those kind of key titles.
For me, I have that presentation, and then we start having sort of Christmas-based things, probably also August, where they'll come in and say, can you send us reports on what titles we should be ordering for Christmas, gift, seasonal, across the board.
I work in the marketing department here at Bonnier Books UK, and I always see Christmas as a brand building opportunity, simply for kind of getting the word out about whether or not it's an imprint or a brand specifically. At the moment, I'm doing a little Sophie Le Giraffe brand building thing. So these are activity sheets, and they're going to be going into giraffe. Actually, I think they already are in giraffe and Tots Play. Things that you can do with your baby, so like seek and find, let's find the snowflakes, how many blue things and things like that, and the colouring. It's basically an awareness campaign for Sophie Le Giraffe because I'm trying to get more parents engaging with it generally as a brand for books. There's a little scan to start your collection today thing there. Hopefully I'm going to get some nice data from it at the end that we can then use to build Sophie as a brand. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing is kind of a lot of branding giveaways for Piccadilly Press, which is our kind of middle grade imprint. What I'll be doing with that is trying to get our most popular, kind of biggest sellers, front list titles circulating essentially, just to kind of gain followers for the brand and kind of, I guess it's engagement with the brand's social medias.
So I work in the adult publicity team, and at the moment we're just focusing on really pushing our books, a last minute push to get our books into roundups and Christmas gifting lists. This past week I've just been putting together a roundup of all the different magazines and newspapers that our books have made it into. So we've got the Financial Times and the Telegraph, Sunday Times, which is really exciting.
Yeah, so the Gardeners Trade Fair, which is normally in September but was in October this year, we did a lot of Christmas presentations then. So we had our 12 Weeks of Christmas, which is a sort of indie promotion that goes through Gardeners, so that was heavily promoted on the stand, so that's kind of probably my last big Christmas thing.
Yeah, I guess right now we're kind of like in this weird phase where we've pushed and pushed and pushed and sold and sold and sold, and now it's like it's December, there's not that much more time to kind of influence what's happening out in retailers, whereas retail will be working on their Christmas plans right up really until Christmas.
So when does Christmas like stop for you? When do you stop thinking about it?
21st of December is when nothing's getting sent out, so that's our final day to care.
And the last like real chart date, I suppose, before Christmas is like the 8th of December. So once that's all locked in more on like the commercial sides of the supermarkets and stuff, realistically you're not going to be able to get anything else into the supermarkets after the 8th of December. But having said that, you know, I'm very persistent and will always try.
When do you start sort of thinking about Christmas?
When do I start thinking about Christmas? I sort of start thinking about Christmas after Halloween. So you kind of, it tends to flow. So you'll have your Halloween campaign running, and then as soon as that finishes, you'll start thinking about Christmas. And I kind of want to have it all set up by the end of November, but you should really do it earlier.
You talked about the data, so on the reporting side, when would you reflect on all the marketing that's happened around Christmas?
Probably January. I would tend to think in January, and then you'd use that to inform how you kind of move forwards with everything. Yeah, so you have a lot more space to think creatively about the next year, and also about things that you've already been working on in the year and how to give them boost. So you're kind of, I don't really have any more campaigns now until January the 5th. So I've got space to do things is the main thing, I think.
Yeah. Any trends that you've noticed since like your time in publishing with different retailers, like how they react at Christmas time?
There's definitely differences across our accounts. I suppose that's kind of why we've grouped them as they are. So supermarkets very reliant on like the fortnightly chart changes, kind of commercial titles, probably cheaper the better as well, I'd say, in the supermarkets. You know, they don't really support like the high-end giftier stuff like say Harris and Selfridges do, so that's why I quite enjoy that account, because it's a real different part of the list that I don't really normally dip into, so that's quite fun. And then yeah, yours is more can't take anything.
Yeah, I mean the sort of high street accounts are a lot more backlist focused, and that's across independents as well. There's a real importance on looking at what we've done well with last year. So titles such as like the Snow Queen, which was really successful for us last year, we want to make sure that we're pushing that back in, because we've already got stock. Two, we've already put the investment in. So there's a lot more sort of backlist money coming in from them. Sort of, as Kate alluded to, can take a higher RRP. No one likes a higher RRP, especially at the moment, but certain customers have certain levels. Customers who go to Waterstones generally will have a higher sort of amount of money to spend on books than customers who are going through supermarkets. So the RRP can shift quite a bit higher, tends to be less discounted. And as I say, yeah, there's a wider focus on range as opposed to sort of front list. Yeah, so Waterstones customers can be more varied, and their booksellers can be more varied. And one of the ones that I always think is quite interesting is Night Before Christmas, which is Waterstones really supported that for the Disney animated classics. They love that book. Every year they've done like a lot with that. And it really fits their sort of more higher price point, slightly older, nostalgic driven millennial audience that I think you'd get say in a supermarket, where it's more likely that's going to be a parent or grandparent driven purchase. So it's interesting to see those differences as well.
I mean, it's definitely down to space in my accounts. Only so much space on books, so yeah, they really do target front list. Trying to get any backlist in, even if it's sold incredibly well in previous years, definitely really challenging. And obviously like Q4, so October to December, is the busiest time in publishing across the board, so the amount published in the industry is just so competitive when you've got such restricted space in stores.
This time of year people are starting to get ready for everyone to be off, so there's lots of last minute things that we're doing. It's a bit manic, but yeah, there's not many events on at the moment, so we're really just trying to push our titles for next year. So yeah, getting excited about 2023.
I feel like it's come really quickly this year. I'm very like, it's December, and that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I'm not ready.
I'm like, yeah, it feels very strange. It does feel a bit like a trend that's happened, I think. Like, it feels like Christmas has got later and later. So now it kind of, you don't really see as much advertising about it until after Black Friday-ish, I think. It kind of starts to ramp up more, whereas before it was way earlier.
Do you think that's been reflected in your marketing for books as well?
Yes, yeah, kind of. I think so.
I'm looking forward to Christmas in itself.
Yeah.
Work-wise, challenging. Yeah, I think, you know, the current climate and everything is feeding into that. As I say, there's only so much space on shelves in stores. It's really competitive at the moment. We're doing everything we can.
Yeah, so for us, we run budget January to December, so this is real crunch time for us. From a work perspective, it's a real crunch time in that this is our final sort of time to get money in and to sort of hit targets that we have. So that's quite tricky. It is also quite anxiety inducing because it's a time when your customers have like the least amount of patience for you.
Yeah.
Because they're also getting emails from everyone else doing the same thing. On a personal level, my favourite time of the year, because that period between Christmas and New Year is the only time where no one is in the office, so I can turn my emails off and I don't have to come back 75 million of them, so I'm very excited for that. Yeah, I used to be a Waterstones bookseller, and Christmas was always like, and now I get to be like, good day.
So while it's a mixed bag, we can all agree that we're looking forward to Christmas. Hope you have a lovely Christmas surrounded by loved ones, and see you in the new year. Bye.